Yo, top of the morning, bro. Is that manly enough for you guys? Can't beat the allegations no matter how hard I try. All right. Top of the morning, episode 5. I've already recorded this once, and then it died on me. So, time to fix that. All right. Let's head out to the Pac-12 for what was probably the biggest game of the weekend, where we have number 2 ASU heading up against, I don't know where they're ranked now, a ranked Oregon team that's dealing with the loss or two. And, man, when I tell you, the only thing you needed to watch in this game was the last couple minutes of it. 25-24, Oregon drives all the way down the field with just one timeout. ASU cannot stop the clock. All Oregon has to do is run, kick a field goal to win this game. And he doesn't trust the kicker. He gets a wide open run in because ASU was giving him, the opportunity. Go ahead and score. And he's able to run it in, score a touchdown. ASU gets the ball back, wheel route down the right sideline, touchdown. ASU wins the ball game. Ahard completely choked it away. There's no other answer for it. And it's super unfortunate because Lord knows we need a P-Town loss eventually. Season 1 P-Town must be stopped, and he cannot be stopped. Georgia couldn't do it. Oregon couldn't do it. Who can do it? You got Warren in a couple weeks. Can Warren do it? Because holy shit. Lovett leads the nation in touchdowns. He got 27 passing touchdowns through 6 weeks. You heard that. 27 passing touchdowns through 6 weeks. Unreal. All right. We're talking about UNC. UNC versus Clemson. Whenever you take a team like UNC, it's with Warren, it's not a matter of if, but when is he going to be a championship contender? And I don't think I expected it to be this early. Sitting at 4-1 with his only loss being a 38-35 loss to OU, Warren headed into enemy territory, played Clemson on the road. Now, granted, while he is winning games, they have not been the prettiest. Warren has definitely had to kind of scratch and claw to get his wins. An interception versus Pitt, we talked about earlier. A couple, had to come down and score 14 to take the lead against Boise in the second or in the fourth quarter. Like, there hasn't been like a flat out dominant UNC performance against like a good team just yet. And not that that's indicative of anything. It's just it's tough. It is not easy winning football games with these rosters. So. He goes in, tough battle against Clemson, able to drive all the way down the field in the final seconds, third down, steps up in the pocket, wide open crosser, overthrown. I was like, oh man, no, the freshmen are choking it away. This road game in Clemson, too much, and nope. Next play, fourth down, they're able to score, take the lead, and Clemson, not enough time for them to hatch a comeback chance. So UNC, huge conference win, in my opinion. Was able to beat SMU via sim. I mean, they even if this team isn't college football playoff ready, I think they are absolutely going to be making the college football playoffs via the ACC championship. Because as he only gets better, more comfortable the team, the harder he is going to be to beat. So UNC tops Clemson, and good stuff there. Florida, however, has dropped their second straight loss, this time on the road against Texas. Granted, both of these losses have been on the road, but I think one of the things that this Florida team needs to learn is there's a time and place for the aggressiveness. They came out, they played a Bama and LSU team that weren't prepared to defend the deep ball, and DJ Lagway essentially had his way with Mizell. Well, the last two teams he's played have kind of, kept that in check, limiting those big throws to that downfield speed. And as a result, Lagway's struggling to see the middle of the field. He's throwing way more interceptions. I think he had 3 going into the Utah game, and I think he's somewhere around 10 right now. I mean, the interception numbers are flying up, and then it's just going to be hard to recover and beat a team like Texas when you're making mistakes. So, big SEC matchup, but Florida starting to look like, they're going to be battling the LSUs, the Georgias, for that second spot in the SEC to try to take on Texas, who seems to be the dominant team at the moment in that conference. So, big matchup to watch for. We got Ole Miss versus South Carolina. So South Carolina is undefeated, one of the last 3 undefeated teams, and they are ranked 3rd in the nation. However, they have not played a user team yet. So I won't say they're on fraud alert, but this is definitely going to be their first real test of the season in top. Allen should be able to handle it. I think he's good enough and has labbed enough to not have any rust. You know how it is to swap from playing the CPU to a user team, but that being said, he has been traveling. He hasn't been on the sticks, and Khalil is no joke. Coming off of a win against Texas A&M, they've played Penn State at a really, really high level, just barely lost by a field goal. Ole Miss, they're throwing the ball like how we've seen Khalil throw the ball all last cycle, just absolutely slinging it. And it's going to be really interesting to see how a team like Ole Miss, which feels a little bit better built out, takes on a team like South Carolina, which has massive gaping holes, but in between those massive gaping holes, you've got three of the best players in the game with Sellers, Harbor, and Dylan Stewart. So, can the superstar-heavy team that's, got some holes, are they going to be able to mask that? Is Allen going to be able to mask that against a team that can throw the ball? They've got a lot of time in the pocket. Or is Khalil just going to be able to pick them off and then neutralize the big plays as much as he can and force long drives from Allen? So easier said than done for anybody that's played Sellers or Lagway. But yeah, we'll see. New content here as Nebraska, Phil, has dropped an ELO chart. So working through what's going on, but if you aren't familiar with ELO, if you're familiar with chess and pretty much any online, you should know what ELO is. But the idea is that, a system that you gain ELO points with wins, you lose ELO points with losses. A lot of things are factored in. Things like, did you have home field advantage? How much did you win by? How much did you lose by? What was the ELO of your opponent? So you have all these factors that are going into this, and then based on if you win or lose your user game, your ELO will rise. This is going to be a really good piece of content to help match up against our tier rankings, to help us kind of maybe bring back the bookie bot, as it may allow us to help create some odds in an automatic way. Who knows? You guys enjoyed that last season, but do me a favor. Anytime you see him post that in the News Hub channel, please give it a look. See where you're at. See where your peers are at. See if it lines up with what you consider the top 10 guys in the league skill-wise, because that's the attempt here. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to take a while for the results of the season to really show. For example, South Carolina hasn't played a user game, so his is still at the stock 1500. But naturally, over the course of many, many seasons and many, many things, this will be a great tool to kind of see that skill level and see what that looks like. All right, and in final, the top 5 teams. I was sitting in a chat last night with some guys. I keep them anonymous, my late night chat committee. And I had one simple question for them. Who's the top 10 teams in the league? Or top 5. Who's top 5 teams in the league? So let's talk about it. Number 1, Texas. They're built on offense. They're built on defense. They look great at home. They have passed every test they've had so far. And they look dominant against Florida. I think Texas is the clear number 1 team. Orange is doing everything he needs to do. Number 2, ASU and Ptown. While he does probably deserved that loss, he didn't have a loss. He's undefeated. He's playing good ball. He's absolutely slinging it. One of the most deadly quarterback wide receiver combos in the league. ASU is a force to deal with. One of our last undefeated teams. Number 3 is going to be Penn State. While Penn State does have a loss to LSU on the road, that's an impressive loss to have. He's been really, really solid. He's beaten Ole Miss. Drew Allar is got some great numbers, keeping the interceptions low, and this is one of the best defenses in the league by far. So between Penn State and Notre Dame, those are our top 2 defenses in the league. But Penn State, one of the best defenses in the league for sure. Number 4, Ole Miss. We talked about Ole Miss versus South Carolina coming up. Well, that's going to be a matchup to watch. And Ole Miss, again, outside of a 3-point loss to Penn State, has been damn near perfect on the season. So that'll be the last thing. And then finally, the final spot, we're going to give this one to Warren. There's a couple teams, honorable mentions. I think Oklahoma probably deserves some respect. Texas A&M has played good ball. Utah has played good ball. But I think when you are leading the ACC like he is with that team, I think you got to give the man his flowers. So Warren will wrap our top 5. That'll be it because I'm coming to the gate and can't be on my phone. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Top of the Morning.